Hello guys, it's me, 2Juice Noob. So today's video, we will be talking about stuffs you need in Blox Fruit 2nd C. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is sword and gun. For the gun, I recommend using kombucha and a sedum rifle. It have good grinding potential and PvP potential. Kombucha is like a slingshot that is upgraded into a better version. Its fire rate is good, and it have decent damage as well. Very good for luring the NPC near you for grinding. Now for the sword is Dark Blade Rengoku Saber Shusui, true triple katana. There is some reason why I putted Dark Blade in this list. It's because it have good damage and very good for PvP and grinding. When using Buddha, of course, I would recommend using True Triple Katana or Saber V2 or Rengoku when you're new in 2nd C because it's good for grinding. Of course, there is a lot of swords to be picked that could suit you in grinding. But if you have Robux, why not buy Dark Blade, if you don't stay with the free blades? Okay, so for the second is fruits and fighting style. Of course, everyone knows what the best fighting style is, Sharkman Karate or Water Kung Fu. The reason I picked these two bad boys, it's because they have a good hitbox and hit sound effect. Just listen how satisfying it is. Once you guys level Water Kung Fu into 400, you guys could buy Sharkman Karate. It's super worth it, I swear. But don't forget, mastering all of the fighting style, Dragon Breath, Dark Step Electric to get superhuman. Okay, now enough with the yapping. So for the fruit is Buddha, a top-tier fruit for grinding. Dude, who could get me wrong? Buddha is just good and OP for grinding. It's literally the best for grinding. I suggest using Buddha, but you could also use Light V2 and Magma V2. For the Magma V2, it has a high damage and good potential on grinding Sea Beast. For more money and for Light, it have a good skill. That is very cool. Good for grinding because of its skill. This fruit was mastered by no other Jujubo TV, the luckiest player ever. Okay, so now for the race skill and races for grinding and PvP. So let's get into race skill first. Race skill is very important on grinding, especially on PvP. Having this race skill will help you grind and PvP, such as Shark Race, a tank race that is immune to water and gives damage reduction. It's the best for sea beast hunting or leviathan hunting, but some race skills is actually good for grinding and PvP, that is Ghoul and Cyborg. Don't get me wrong. Cyborg Race V3 is just OP because of its race skill. It can literally destroy or break instinct. Well, for Ghoul, it gives Life Leech. That is very OP as well when you are using Buddha. Now for the race for grinding Ghoul. Ghoul is like the best race for grinding. When it comes to spamming, it gives cooldown reduction habit of it. Well, it's still OP, right? And now Cyborg, it's literally good for grinding when you want to mastery your gun or other weapon, etc. Alright, so now for the trading system and Blox Fruit Awakening ER Raid. Now for the first thing is Blox Fruit Awakening. It's very useful when it comes to awakening because it gives buff to your fruit, such as magma and light and flame and ice and also Buddha. This awakening is very important when it comes to PvP and grinding. I highly recommend awakening your fruit before doing some PvP. You could do some raid by asking other players or your friends. Now for the trading system. This part is the best, I swear. So trading system is very, very useful for trading new fruit or trading Game Pass and Perm Fruits or Dark Blade. That's how I got my Dark Blade. But be aware of scams. It's the worst thing you could ever do. For example, you have a doe fruit or leopard fruit, but you just got into the 2nd C and don't know about trading. You could see that other players will try to scam you by saying, "This fruit is bad, let's trade. I'll give you gravity and paw for your leopard." That they could say this happened to me back then. But someone told me not to accept it. So I didn't, but when it comes to trading, please always remember the fruit values. If it's a mythical, such as gravity, or a legendary such as paw, don't accept it. You could also use Blox Fruit Calculator to know its values. Alright, for the last part is accessories and belly and fragments. So for the accessories I recommend for Buddha is actually Marine Cape and Ghoul Mask and Swan Glasses. Who could get me wrong using Ghoul Mask? Ghoul Mask gives a life leech as well. It's a good par for Buddha and Ghoul V3 race, and it gives a buff of 10% life leech on melee attacks against players, 2.5% life leech on melee attacks against NPCs, plus 35% movement speed. Op, right? And for the Swan Glasses, it's just OP, but its drop chance is low. But here's the buffs, plus 25%. Movement speed, plus 8%. Damage, 8%. Skills cooldown, plus 8%. Defense, plus 150. Energy, plus 150. Health, and for the Marine Cape, it gives a buff of 10 plus damage of M1 and a 200 energy still op for me. Okay, enough with the accessories, it's time for the Bailey and Fragments. Fragments are used to buy or be used on Awakening Fruits, and it could also be used on Race V4 and could be used on buying Kabucha and Dragon Breath. And for the Bailey is just important. Just for example, you saw Kitsune on stock, but it was 8 million, and you have 7 million. That's why saving more Bailey is important, just in case you need a new fruit for PvP. And don't forget, Race V2 and V3 cost, Belly. V2 cost about 500k, and V3 cost about 2 million, so you need money for those stuffs.